So here we are, one of my favorite local hikes in Modiin. It's called Titora, and it's a very big mountain that's kind of in the middle of Modiin, and it has a water tower on top, which is lit up at night into a beautiful, beautiful rainbow. And on the holiday of Hanukkah, they actually turn it into a menorah holding candles, and each night they light up a different candle. There are many entrances to the park, so I want to show you all the different ways that you can enter into the park, and then we'll go up and explore.
One! Entrance number 2. With a pumpkin there. Number 4.
Has had many names. The Crusaders called it Taranta, while the Arabs used Kalat el Tanturah, meaning dunce cap. Another name was El Burj, meaning the fortress. The Hebrew name, Titora, meaning brim like that of a hat, was given by the Government Names Committee and preserves the sound of the name in Arabic and its meaning.
So now that you know how to get all the way up to Givat HaTitora, all of the ways. So now let's go and explore. So in the entrance we have picnic tables over here, all around, so you can eat and see the views. And let's go and see where this path takes us.
This hill is the most important site in the region of the city of Modiin for nature, views, and historical legacy. The hill stretches over 150 acres and rises to a height of 300 meters above sea level. Titora Hill had a meaningful role in the history of the Modiin region, with continuous agricultural and rural settlement from the Chalcolithic period some 6,000 years ago until the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948.
All along the way you have these nice explaining the examples that they have here. So here you can see an old archway and the nature. You can see the birds.
The hill has an impressive abundance of fruit-bearing trees, including olives, almonds, pomegranates, figs, and prickly pears that are all remains of ancient settlements that existed here. On the southeast slopes of the hill, hairy bread grass and common fennel can be found, while on the northwest slopes grows low-lying shrub, undergrowth weeds, and other vegetation. The variety of the various flora comes from the different solar radiation that affects the available water for the plants.
These used to be rocks to feed the animals. Here you can see old wells. It sounds like there are pigeons inside this one. See. Here you can see an example where they would have a tree, and then they would lower down the bucket to get the water. And this one also definitely has pigeons in it. Woo! 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 Here is a model of that well. Here you have, it's basically a loop. So you have many ways to go. On the top there's a loop, and on the sides you can pick an exit that will take you all the way down. I prefer going this way, and you'll see why very soon. As you're walking, see the whole city of Modiin pretty much from the top, and the surrounding mountains on the way to Jerusalem. This was originally always a strategic spot on the road down to Jerusalem. As you can see, it was very high and very strategic. The name Titora comes from the rim of a hat, the brim of a hat. But it also gives respect to the original name of this hill, the Arabic name. So here you can see you have your presses over here. You've got your animal olive press. The donkey would go on this side over here and would just walk around and around and power this crushing rock, and it would press. Here's another press. And this area was just recently redone to show all of the history in the past few years. And they've actually done a really, really superb job. It's also flat, so it's also disabled friendly. So if you're in a wheelchair, it's fine. If you're not up for big hikes and mountains, you can just drive. There's 3 handicap spots at the top, and you can just drive up. Even some activities for the kids. Over here, you can see there's an excavation continuing up there. And we're gonna go try to get a little closer and also put the drone up a little bit, and we'll get there. But as you walk, you can hear all the little critters and all the little animals running around.
When the building of the modern city of Modiin began, many archaeological excavations were done on the hill and its surroundings. The archaeological findings show that settlement here began during the Chalcolithic period and continued through the Bronze, the Iron, the Persian, the Hellenistic age that included the Hashemonites, the Roman, the Byzantine, the early Muslim, the Crusaders, the Ayyubic, the Mamluks, and the last, the Ottoman period.
Look at this. Look at this view. Here you can see some of the different neighborhoods in Modiin. So the double towers here, that's one neighborhood. The arches over there is another neighborhood. The spaceships building over there, I guess it's over here, it's another neighborhood. The spaceships over there is another neighborhood. And then all the way over there is another neighborhood. And as you can see, over there by the cranes is another neighborhood. And this is continuously being built. Speaking of neighborhoods, here you go. And there's also benches along the way, so if you want to just take a break. Here you have the fortress. That was the center of Givat HaTitora. But it looks like right now it's closed for renovations, but I'm going to try to give you a bird's eye view of what it looks like. But normally it's open and you can go and you can walk on it and explore and see exactly what it used to look like.
During the First World War, a significant battle between the British and the Turks took place on this very site. The battle is known as El Burj, named after the Arab village that existed here at that time.
Down there, the road is Route 443 from the Bengineer forest all the way to Jerusalem. One thing I would say is, certain times of year, this path here is not cut regularly and groomed. So there are some times when there's bees on the path. So if you are sensitive to bees, then just keep that in mind. Never had an issue, but when the vegetation is growing onto the path, it's possible that you will come in contact with some bees. So here at the opposite end of the entrance is this wonderful sitting area. And at the center of it is this beautifully done, I guess it's a replica mosaic. Let me see if I can get it from the top. Oh, there's a lizard. There's a lizard. Oh, he just went into the rock. I don't know if you saw him. The lizard just ran into that rock. Let's take a look from up here. Here you have the beautiful mosaic, and then this is the view. So I've actually picked up pizza and brought the kids here quite a few times to just eat our food in this nice, peaceful, gorgeous spot.
According According to archaeological findings, this hill controlled two important ancient roads that connected the coastal plains with Jerusalem. Some 100 water wells that were discovered here strengthens the assumption that the local community served during various historical periods as a station for pilgrims on their way to the temple in Jerusalem. On this very site, during the Independence War in 1948, an aerobic battle took place between the Iftach Brigade and forces of the Jordanian Legion as part of a larger military operation called Operation Dani. After the Declaration of Independence in 1948, the ability to secure and defend the center of the country was very difficult. Jerusalem was partially under siege, and the Jordanian Legion controlled large areas, including Lod, Ramleh, and Yahud, communities that are on the border of the Gush Dan region, which is the center and most populated area of the country. In an effort to lower the Jordanian pressure over the center of the country, the IDF launched Operation Dani. The operation, under the command of General Yigal Allon, was the largest ever done by the IDF at that time. 4 brigades took part in this operation, in which the IDF used tanks for the first time. The region of Modiin was under the control of the Iftach Brigade.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the tour so far. This mosaic is kind of the halfway point when you're doing the round of the top of Titora. And we're gonna go see part 2 now. Yom Tov. There you go, there's another well. And there's actually markings here that you can follow to make sure you're on the right path. And there's fruit trees. Here you can see one of the walls that is still remaining. Here you can see to the north the vantage point that this hill holds. So here is 443, as we spoke about before, to the north. Yeah, here you go. See the olives. This also is lit up at night. Here, there are lights that are built into the path. You can actually, this is open at night as well. And when you come at night, the whole city, as you would expect, is lit up. And it's quite beautiful. See, there's lots and lots of vegetation. Beautiful flowers. Another retaining wall. My only complaint is I wish they would put up some places with shade, because in the summer it does get really, really hot up here. And if they just had, you know, a few areas that were covered, or little breaks of places with coverings, it can be a spot, you know, all year round. Now up here, we actually have an ancient ritual bath. Here you go. So here, what it looks like. And this is what was used to purify the Jewish ritual bath. Wow, look at the lizard. The Jewish ritual bath. Basically, it was a big hole cut in the ground, like this. And then you can see in, there are steps that go down, and you would be immersed in the rainwater. And when you would come out, you would be cleansed and purified. And you'd be able to go back to the temple to worship. Continuing on the path, and there is the water tower. And those cones on top are not because there's traffic up there. Those actually turn into candles on Hanukkah. And every year, the water tower, which is lit up at night, also becomes a menorah for all the nights of Hanukkah, and they light up a new one every night, a new candle every night. And the path continues around straight ahead. You go around the tower, and it'll take you back to the parking lot. And as you can see, there are views upon views upon views. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. It really does wonders for the algorithm. And now that the country is opening up, I hope to take you on more adventures soon.